I have a question, separate. So there's a hadith that the strong believer is better than the weak believer, and some people use this to say that like to work out and stuff is.
Answer.
What's the question?
Well,
I know what he said, but I'm just saying it. But did they say it's not permissible to work out?
No, not that. More so that like it's good to work out because then you're becoming like a strong believer in a sense.
He's talking about the hadith of Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المؤمن القوي خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف وفي كل خير. He said that the strong believer is, better and more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the weak believer. And like Shaykh al-Uthaymin rahimahullah said, he said al-mu'min al-qawi. He did not say al-Muslim. So what does that mean? Qawi bi imanihi. Because he didn't say al-Muslim al-qawi, because that would just be by his body. But he said al-mu'min al-qawi, quwwat al-iman. So the strong believer in his iman is like stronger, is better and more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the weak believer in his iman. Because a believer who has strong iman, he can do way more than a person who's a person of weak belief. I don't know. I told you guys about that Russian brother in Damaj. Which one?
The one with the sniper rifle.
Yeah, like look at this. Like I told you, like just a nerdy little, like
Hey,
no.
He's my friend.
Huh?
It happens every class. I'm always catching strays.
How you said it like you.
It's just a nerdy level.
Can I continue? So anyway, so he's like a nerdy looking guy, like, right? So no problem here. And then, but what, man? When that war started, that lion came out of that brother, man, and he got up. He's like, "Give me the sniper rifle." He got up on the bathrooms and started popping the heads of Houthis left and right. Nobody knew this brother had no military training, but he had a good eye and a good aim, and he just started plucking them off one by one, popping their heads off. And then they caught him one time, and they found out where he was. They shot a mortar with the area where he was at, and it exploded. The shrapnel went into his face. So he lost the eyesight in one eye, and the other side swole up. So he was blind. He couldn't see in both eyes at that time. So he thought he was blind. He had shrapnel in his leg. His leg was messed up. He couldn't walk. And then he stayed in bed like that for some days until the swelling went down on one side of his face, and then he got his eyesight back. And he's like, I can see. My eyesight's back. Give me my rifle. Yeah. And he limped his way right out there and went back to fighting the Houthis. And I told y'all about that brother Zakaria. Same thing. The brother Zakaria lost his leg and lost his jaw. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have strong iman, akhi, what are you going to get up and, akhi, I don't care how many hours you put in the gym, akhi, that don't give you heart. Yeah, they don't give you heart. Most of those dudes that work out in the gym are the biggest cowards. That's why they work out in the gym, because they're scared. They don't want people they want to be so big that nobody will challenge them. They're cowards, akhi, the majority of those. I've watched a dude, man, 5'6" dude, my cellmate in jail. His name was Pero. I don't know why they called him Pero. He was black, wasn't even Mexican. But he said Pero, he spelled it like Pero. Dog, right? Yeah. Because you're fake Mexican, right? Yeah. So, but we called him Pero, and he wrestled everybody in the dorm, akhi, and slammed everybody in the dorm. Huh?
No, he's
What?
You were pointing at me to say it's him. I was like, no, it's actually.
Oh, they're fighting over who the real fake Mexican is. And neither one of them can speak Spanish. All right. You're a Winfrey. But anyway.
His last name's in.
Yeah, but anyway, but forget Pedro. But I mean, he slammed everybody in the dorm, akhi. Slammed everybody in the dorm. The one guy, one of my friends, 6'5", akhi, picked him up and slammed him right on my bed. Boom, shook the whole dorm. So those are dudes with heart, akhi. So I mean, man, this dude was a kafir. But I'm saying, like, look at this brother Zakaria, is a brother from Algeria. He got his mouth, his jaw, like they shot a tank at him, akhi. They were about to break fast, so they put everything down. They were in a trench, And there wasn't supposed to be any fighting going on at the time. It was Ashura, so they went to go break their fast. And then the Houthis just popped out with a tank and shot the tank right at him, right as the Adhan was being called, and they were breaking their fast. So when he turned around, the tank hit right in front of him and shattered all the rocks. And the rocks cut his leg off and knocked his jaw off. So he lost his jaw, lost his leg. So the first time I met this brother was in Sana'a after this happened. And I went to go pray next to him. And he was like, I'm doing this. I'm like, man, where's this dude's foot at? Am I praying next to a Pakistani?
Going up to everyone.
That's your turn.
So I go to look and I'm like, oh, wow, he ain't got no foot.
Yeah.
And he's standing up. He's praying standing on one leg. On one leg, he refused to sit down in the salat. He's I'm praying standing. I prayed next to him. I'm like, I didn't talk to him that day. So one day I came into the mektaba and he was always sitting in the library, in the bookstores. He always sitting there just reading books in the bookstore. So I got into an argument about the Arabic language with the guy that runs the bookstore. And then he was sitting there like, huh. And I was just going off on the guy. It's like, nah, the problem with you Arabs is you don't know this and you don't study this and you don't. So then from there, me and Zakaria became like the closest of friends. Comes to my house all the time and he eats. So he kept telling me all these stories about what happened and all the, So then what happened? They attacked. The Houthis were, they were getting a caravan to go up to Kitaf. And guess who was one of the first person on that caravan? Zakaria. One-legged brother with no jaw. He got a prosthetic leg during this time while he was in Sana'a. He got a real cheap prosthetic leg. Like it was real, he had to walk like his foot was sideways. But he still got on the bus and got on the trucks and left. They didn't even go with the intention of fighting. They were only going to try to take food into Damascus during the time when the Hisar, when the Houthis had Damascus surrounded. So they wanted to take medical supplies and food. And then the Houthis, basically, they stopped the trucks and when they came out of Ma'rib, when they got up through Sa'da, and they said, if you go beyond this point, we're going to shoot you. And the brother said, shoot us. Yeah. And they left, and the Houthis started shooting. The brother started shooting back. World War II started. World War II, well, not World War II, but Sa'da War II. Then the war started in Kitab. And Zakaria got shot again. He told me the story. He said he got it was him and one other brother up on the mountaintop alone. All the other brothers had gone off to the side, and the Houthis were advancing on him. And he said there was one Houthi. He was like, and he said, so he went to go shoot him, and the guy shot him right through his wrist and shot him in his hip. So he said, when I got shot in my wrist, he said I couldn't get the gun. I was trying to pick up the gun, but he said because he shot right where he shot me, he said my hand was limp. Yeah, he said I couldn't pick it up. So he said I only had one grenade left. So he said I just took the grenade off, like this, Bismillah. And he said that the Houthi was coming up, Ya Amriki! And he was yelling back. He said, Ana lastu Amriki, Ana min Bani Hashim, because he's from the Prophet's family. This is Jazari, brother. He said, I'm not American. He said, I'm from Bani Hashim. I'm from the tribe of Hashim. I'm from the Prophet's family. Wow. He said, you're the American, basically. And then he threw the grenade. Like the guy was yelling, threw the grenade, he heard boom. And he finally got quiet. And the guy was dead and they lived. It was like they left and then he came back to Sana'a. And he had to go back to the hospital. Well, actually, he went to Sardiya for medical treatment. Then he came back down to Sana'a. And then the third time, we went back to Damascus. And then he was in Damascus the last war.
Don't the Shia say it's like tattoos?
I don't know.
Whoa.
So, but what I'm saying, like, not to get off of this subject, is that you think that a person could do that if his Iman was weak? Yeah. Huh. Yeah?
I'm saying, yes, you cannot.
No, you're not going to be able to have that type of... No. I told y'all, like that one Yemeni brother, when they had the trench, they had the Houthis kept moving forward on them, and they couldn't do anything because the Houthis would fire so much that the brothers, all they could do is just stay down. So they needed to get rid of this trench right here up at the front so they could try to move forward and try to knock the Houthis back so they could stop the war. One Yemeni brother said, I'll take care of him. And at night, he just took one grenade, crawled on his stomach all the way across the mountaintop and dropped it into the thing and crawled back and killed them all. Like the ones that didn't die, wish they did. That's why I was like, those type of mindset. Abdul Rahman and Tutu, the same thing. Like, look what happened with him. And he went up to the sheikh. He went up to the sheikh and he told him, he said, oh sheikh, make dua for me that I get killed. And the sheikh was like, no, Abdul Rahman. No, he's a very good brother. Like, Abdul Rahman is a very good brother. Very good brother. The best manners, the best character, the best everything. And the sheikh was like, nah, you stay alive. I make dua that you stay alive because the people need you. You need to go back and give dawah to your people. And then he left, came back to the sheikh. Sheikh, make dua that I get killed. Fi sabilillah. Make dua that I get killed fighting the Houthis. And the sheikh was like, no. He said, please make dua. And then the sheikh made dua. Last day of the war, Abdul Rahman got killed. The fighting was stopped. Like, it's gonna stop at this time, and he got killed on that last day. So I mean, those are man, that's Iman, dude. That's Iman, akhi. That's Iman. One brother of Riyadh used to sit there and make dua. Like, they used to sit there and listen to him make dua all the time. Please, just let me get killed. Let me get killed. And the bullet actually went through the muzzle of his gun and exploded to his face. Wow. And killed him. So I mean, that takes Iman, akhi. Right? People who don't have strong Iman, they're too attached to the dunya. When it comes time to stand up and defend the deen and defend, they ain't got no strength for that. I don't care how many pull-ups you do in the gym, akhi. That's not gonna prepare you for that. It's not gonna prepare you for that. It's your heart, akhi. And that's why it's not bodybuilders. Go send Arnold Schwarzenegger out to Commando, Mr. Commando. Go send him to the middle of the desert with where all the odds are against you. Because, I mean, that's the reality of our situation. The odds are always against us, akhi. And, they're always going to be against us. Even when we're giving dawah, when we're trying to call the people to Tawheed, we got 72 different groups insulting us, fighting against us, warning against us, calling us extremists, calling us all these different types of names. So what? All the odds are always going to be against. How are you going to stand up against that if your iman is weak? So nah, man, I don't care how many hours you put in the gym, akhi. That's not going to prepare you for that. It's not. It's not going to prepare you for that. Any other questions?